Carmen, we have a very fun one here for the Thursday night football game that we get to preview to kick off this show.
Yeah.
Niners, Seattle Seahawks. I mean, this is a divisional matchup that for the last 10 years has been heated. These teams do not like each other. It's in Seattle. You know that Seattle crowd's going to be going absolutely crazy, especially coming off of a loss to the Giants that, let's face it, I don't know if a lot of Seahawks fans thought they were going to lose that game. So they're coming out. They're going to be even louder. They're going to support their team even more. It's a divisional opponent. They hate the Niners anyways. I'm curious, for this divisional matchup here, short week for these teams, what's your matchup that matters here?
It is probably the 49ers red zone offense in particular against the Seattle Seahawks red zone defense.
All right.
The Niners rank 29th in red zone percentage. And when you consider that they've lost of the 3 combined games that they've lost by a total of 9 points, this stuff matters. Scoring amazingly matters when it comes to the 49ers in particular. And if you could just steal one more possession in the red zone that results in points, this this Niners offense could look a lot different, and honestly their record could look a lot different. And Seattle is 11th in red zone rate, but they are dealing with so many different injuries. Byron Murphy out, Uchenna Nwosu on IR, or expected to go on IR.
Right.
Rick Woolen even on the back level of this defense out, and then Boye Mafe, Derek Hall, Julian Love all questionable for this game. This is a hurting unit, and this is the opportunity for the Niners to really start to get right in that specific phase of their offense, because it's going to matter a whole lot.
Yeah, I think I'll get a little bit more micro with mine. I think that that's a really good point, just overall the offenses and the defensive side of the ball there going up against one another in the red zone. But I think just overall the Niners offensive line versus the Seattle Seahawks defensive line is going to be a big one. Mike Macdonald, new head coach of the Seattle Seahawks, defensive guy. They've played really well to start the season. There's been a little bit of ups and downs, as there always is with the defensive side of the ball, but he's going to want to throw his fastball here at the San Francisco 49ers. And I think he's going to dial up a lot of different pressures. I think Boye Mafe is questionable in this game, but it looks like he's going to play, and they need him because he leads the team in pressures. Him being back is going to be huge, especially for a Niners offensive line that, at least in my opinion, when I think about the Niners offensive line and I think about how potent the passing game could be and how great they are in the run game, like, I just think, Trent Williams on that offensive line, it's a fantastic offensive line. Well, I'm not saying they're bad in any way, shape, or form, but every single one of their starters, all 5 starting players, have given up at least 9 pressures this season, even Trent Williams. So it's a unit that we've already sort of talked about their run blocking as well. Like, their run blocking has been good, but it's the pass blocking that it's not up to that sort of caliber of dominance like they are in the run game. And so to me, especially with getting a Boye Mafe back, things being at home, again, coming off the loss, I feel like Mike Macdonald's going to give you his absolute best as a defensive play caller when he's dialing things up. That, to me, if you can really overwhelm this team, we've seen Brock Purdy do well under pressure before, but if the Seahawks can truly overwhelm them, which they might be able to, given how the Niners offensive line is played, to me, that's a big-time matchup that matters. And then you take that into the red zone as well. Obviously, that matters there, like you said there, too. What about a plus factor in this game? Who's a big difference maker for you, one way or the other?
Well, I know Mike Macdonald wore the hat that said, run the damn ball, but I do think
He did. The
San Francisco 49ers are also going to try to do the same with Jordan Mason, who leads the league in attempts. He's second in yards. And with all of those defensive injuries, I have to think that the Niners are going to go straight at this Seattle defensive line. And especially given the fact that Brock Purdy loves play action. He does really well off play action, 22 of 28 for 347 yards and a touchdown when the Niners are running play action. And that is helped by a really good run game. And we know that Jordan Mason can be extremely productive. I just think that in order to exploit kind of the deficiencies of this Seattle defense as it currently stands, given the injuries, this is going to be a ground and pound game. You're going to try to control the line of scrimmage, control the clock as much as possible, take the Seattle crowd out of it. As someone who has been in that stadium and heard the absolute deafening crowd in Seattle, it's a wonderful, amazing place to go see a game at if you ever have the chance. But it does come down to the fact like that they matter. The Seattle 12s matter.
Yes.
So I just think to take them out of it, you got to stay on the field as long as possible.
I'm with you, and I'll go on the other side of things because you mentioned Mike McDonald's wearing a hat that says "Run the damn ball" and is in the middle of the week press conference, and Mina Kimes of ESPN had a funny tweet that I agreed with, which is Mike McDonald has the chance to do the funniest thing of all time, and that is wear a "Run the damn ball" hat to the press conference, and then the first offensive play of the game, boom, play action, shot play, straight over the top. And I think that could be funny if they end up going with that.
Is he trying to establish the run just by wearing the hat? Is that what's...
Hey, you don't, as we've often said here at PFF, you don't have to run the ball to establish the run threat. Sometimes you just have to wear the hat. So it'll be interesting to see how much the hat actually influences what the linebackers do for the 49ers. I do want to stay along those lines, though, for my plus factor and talk about Kenneth Walker, because last week specifically, it is sort of ironic that he wore the hat that he did of run the damn ball. Carmen, they had 7 design runs last week against the New York Giants. Just 7. Yeah. I mean, you gotta have more. Come on, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. I understand Geno Smith's great and you want to keep the ball in his hands, but you've got to have more design runs than just 7. You got to be able to control the game a little bit more than that. So I think this is a key one, not only because we've already seen Mike McDonald say that he wants to do it more, given how scarce it was last week, but then also you look at the 49ers run defense as well. 52.2 run defense grade against the Cardinals last week. Just a 58.3 run defense grade against all teams overall so far this season. That's 23rd in the NFL. And then specifically, when I was watching that Cardinals game, the inability to stop James Conner on the ground is why the Cardinals were able to get into scoring range late in that game in the fourth quarter. They just could not stop the run. It's been an issue for this team all season long. So to me, getting Kenneth Walker going and establishing the run as your sort of identity here in this game, even early on, I think is going to mean a lot.